Aloha! This is a video for my mom. I'm going to send her a little loaner kit, and I made up a few of these kits for clients and family members that need some home care. And it's a great way to get a little bit of treatment in an easy manner, very easy to use. So if you were to get a loaner kit from me, then it would come in a little pouch, and in the front I have extra batteries. So when you run out, you have an extra set. It just velcros here, and I put a little water bottle in the front. So that just slips in there. And here's the device. And then it will have a strap and a couple of pads. So this works via velcro here. And this is a belt. And the belt is just to help you control the pads. They're all velcro. So when I store it, I just wrap the wire around the system and velcro it all back together. But you'll have two pads, and they work by velcroing. So you can use the belt, place them where you like, or you can use the pads without the belt. They just velcro off. You can place them on the skin anywhere that you might need, and either just hold them there, or you can use the belt. So it works just like a belt. So you'll put it on skin, and then you wrap it around yourself, and it velcros there. But for you treating your back, there's no need to mess with the belt too much if it doesn't fit, or you can just place the pads where you want them and lean back and make sure that they're you have them well placed so that they won't move. It's important that the pads, once they're placed on your skin, that they don't move. If they move, they bite, and bite means painful. So you want to make sure when you place the pads on the skin that they are secure. So let's go over how to hook it up. It hooks up like all the other machines. The 1000 and the Pro and everything all work on the same probe system. And that's an arrow here, and it has a little hill or a little mountain there, and it accepts it here. There's a little receptor at the top there, and you just you line it up and snap it in. And then to remove it, you just pull back on this middle piece. You see this middle piece goes up and down, and you pull back on that to remove it. So you put it in according to the arrows, and if you remove it, you pull back. Just don't smash the end. That's very important, because this is a delicate medical device, and we want to be sure that the wires stay in good order. So to turn it on, it's the same. It's going to be the bottom button. This bottom button is your power. So you press and hold, and that does a self-test. Then it defaults to the top choice, and that's just fine for you, Mom. That's chronic 1. It says C1, C2, and A1 and A2. And C stands for chronic, and A stands for acute. So if it's a chronic issue, anything that's over 3 days is classically called a chronic issue. But certainly anything further than a week would be considered a chronic issue. And C1 is a gentler program than C2. So C2 is a little more aggressive. And so for you to start, I would start on C1, and that's where it defaults anyway. So if you find yourself confused how to change the choice of program, you can leave it to where it starts. let's just go over for a second how to change the program if you should want to, because it is good to vary it. It's good to varying the impulse. It makes it the body not accommodate, and you'll have better results. So this top button that looks like a lightning bolt or like a electricity, that's the button that changes. It changes the program. So you can see it's going, the top one is C1 chronic 1, then chronic 2, oops, sorry, we're at A1 now, and A2, and back up to chronic 1. So it doesn't look that a lot like a button, it's just got a symbol, and it's you press it, it has just a small indentation there. Press it that way, okay? So you can see that if you don't press it just right, it's not sensing it. So don't get frustrated, you just press the center button and those lights will change at the top. So again, you can keep it on C1, and your plus and minuses are the same as the 1000. So here's your pluses, and again, you can press and hold, you can press, and the lights will shine when it's working, when it's going up. And you go to a comfortable setting, and both these pads are going to be live. This one device will drive the two pads. So before I place the pads on myself, I'll spray each pad once with this little just simple water. It's all that's in here is water. You can refill it. It's just a simple twist. Refill that with water when it gets empty. So I've sprayed these, and I'll put it round onto my skin. It's got to be on skin. And I'll go ahead and attach it so that I can keep moving. So I can feel it pretty good. And if I wanted a little more, and then again, go down. Here's your minus button to go down. And then you just relax. Now, the nice thing about this unit is it has a 20-minute default. So the other one had a 10-minute default. So you could treat yourself 1, 2, or 3 times. Up to an hour, I think, is fine. And if you feel up to it, it's nice to change the program once. So you can do 1, 2 rounds at your default setting, C1, and then go ahead and try to change it to C2. And then you just hit that button there. This one right here. So you just push that, and it changes it. Okay? So once in a while, try and change it to C2. But if it's too much, don't worry about it. The default one's going to be just fine. Okay? So I'm going to just explain a few things that come in the kit. There's a quick start guide that's for this unit. It's very similar to what you had, but this is a lower end unit, so the pads are a little bit fragile. So let me turn this off, and I'll go over some of the pads, what they look like and things. So to turn it off, if you want to end before it automatically shuts off, it's that bottom power button. And you just press, it'll make that noise. And then once the lights are all gone, you know it's off, and you can feel it's off. So don't move the pads until they're off. Okay, so the pads are thin and not that much fragile, but you know, they're made to be a little flexible, but eventually if you smash them, they will ruin. So you've got to be kind of careful with them, and they attach via these two things. Now, you never have to worry about them unless accidentally they come open. So if for some reason you pulled on the unit and they've become detached, they just pop open like that. And all you do is you just put it back together. So don't be afraid if it comes apart. You're just going to put it back together. It's going to be just fine. So you can see they're just kind of a little bit fragile, so you want to be careful with them. And when you're putting it back together, you just don't want the metal to touch metal, okay? So you want the pad to touch the pad and scoot the other one over so it closes and doesn't bend the pads. So it's very easy, just like that and like that is fine. And then one more, and then usually by then I'll take the wire and start wrapping it up. Better to disconnect it first. So I'm going to disconnect it from here and keep wrapping it up. And then you just wrap it around with the Velcro and it gets all nice and self-contained. So just to go over how to change the battery. So the battery change is here. It's just a normal lip on a cover, and you got to just push down. So you're pushing down on this little lip thing. You're going to push down and that opens up. Just like any other battery thing. It's pretty standard. And it takes 2 batteries. And there's pictures in there just like every other battery. And you put it in the normal way with the spring at the bottom and the bumpy part at the top. That's how I remember. And then the cover just goes right back on and it snaps in. So if you want to change it, you just pull down, and then to put it back, you snap it back on. So I don't know if you were as advanced to know that the head of this, the 1000, used to be active. You probably never used it, but this is not active. So this is the 900 and the head is not active. So I don't think you ever used it, but just a technicality. So it's a delicate unit just like the other one, so you want to be careful not to drop it or anything like that. So just to go over a few more things in the kit, I was saying this is the start guide and got me distracted to show you the pads, but if you ever want to look over and remember how to do things, it's all right here in the flyer. And then inside also is a nice pamphlet that just talks about the pads. It's not something you need to look at, but I know you like to look at stuff like that, and it's in here. So just it talks about disconnecting the cord like I just showed you, and anyhow, if you're interested, it's all in there. And then this is the booklet for the device itself, and I keep it open to this page, which is the what the presets are doing. So when you're choosing C1, what is it doing? And it's probably not of much interest to you, but if eventually you get into the hertz or understanding the hertz, you can see that C1 is a lot gentler hertz program than C2 is, because C2 includes a little bit higher hertz, as well as the 3-in-1, which is a little bit, just a little bit aggressive. So it's nice to throw in if you're feeling good and you feel like you know how to change the program. Then definitely throw in a C2 once in a while. So it all goes in the back pocket, and you got it right in there. And then the device can go anywhere in the pocket, no problem, as well as this just goes in the main pocket. And then this little guy, it certainly can go in the main pocket, but I just keep it up front. It's nice up front for me. And it just zips up really nice and packs away. So I think you're going to enjoy this kit. It's been very reliable. If you have trouble, just go ahead and ship it back to me, and I will send you another one. Or just let me know, I'll send you a new one, and then you can ship me back, and so we get you one right away. So I think you're going to enjoy it, and I really do like this system. I do like the 20-minute run, and I think the pads will be a lot more comfortable for you for your back. So a blessing in disguise. So enjoy this, Loner Mom. Love you. Aloha.